I know if I can play more of that, so I'll just keep jumping around to every just spooky dokey Yoshi Horikawa's bump. Okay, so Philharmonic again. A couple months back, I did the HT Towers. Those were specifically home theater towers. They used a system that was similar to this, a little tiny mid-range, and a whole tweeter. And then it had $1,400 in purified drivers and the rest of it. And it was way underpriced at $4,500. Well, these are the BMR. And they are way underpriced at $2,200 for this specific finish in this shape. This is the most expensive you can get these currently until a special edition comes out that fixes the front. This is the peak of what Philharmonic can do for musical delivery and not home theater. See, the home theater speakers were designed for maximum SPL. That was it. They were there to kick your ass and take your names. And they just happened to sound fucking amazing. And they kind of screwed up my reviews of other speakers like the SVS towers. And now, sitting here with these for the last couple of weeks, these were loaned to me by someone who bought them and actually knows Philharmonic pretty well. But sitting here with these now I keep looking at them and I go, how much are they worth? I got those are $6,000 speakers. I know what those Mons are capable of. I fucking bought a set. Didn't pay $6,000 because they sent me a set they've been using. But if those are $6,000, these got to be $5,000. These have to be $5,000. They have to be. Just, and all I could tell you, and this is the shittiest used car salesman thing anyone could ever say, especially on the internet, is trust me. Trust me. I sit here with my $7,000 tower, $6,000. People loan me things. I go to shows. I listen. I buy things when they're absolutely incredible. I know what things that are not really designed for music sound like. I know what things that I kind of like the brand, but they're not the perfect. I know these fucking things. So when I what was that?
Oh, mercy, mercy me.
That's Yoon Soon Na, spelled like it sounds, 3 words. Mercy, mercy me. The Ecology? Why would you call that? From the Immersion album. I don't know, I'm hoping I can help you. These speakers, have no right doing what they do. And the other, I have to bring up the CSS, the Critons, which I just did a couple weeks ago. And those were $2,200 if you built them, if you didn't buy the kit and you had them built for you, they were $2,200. So yes, I tell you can get those for $1,000 less. If these were a kit, the kit should cost $2,200. And then you build them, and then there's no fucking way you put an ebony finish. Hello? I gotta link something in the description so you buy it. Music Nomad, Equipment Care, Piano 1, Piano Gloss Finish. That's what I clean this with. Hold that table, because holy shit. I mean, do I have a flashlight? Where's my light? I need a light. Hold. There's somewhere in this house, there's an extra light. I got a flashlight here, but it's not what I wanted. All right, it'll have to do for now. It's one of those finishes that's like, is it really pretty? Or is it really, really pretty? Oh, there's dust on it. Clean the dust off that. But that is some of the fucking Jesus. You could actually see the clear coat responding to the light by getting slightly blued. That's real wood underneath this thick fucking lacquer. And it's the same, I think I was told it's the same factory making these boxes that they make $30,000 speakers. And they didn't just turn the knob down and say make them shittier. This what might be the best finish on a speaker, period. I personally don't like the dark look, and you do get 4 finish options with these if you go to the website. This being the most expensive at $2,200, then they have a different wood, which is only $2,000, but the same shape. And then they had a square box, which is a much simpler box to build, $1,900. So it's like they're not charging even close. Just in going from a square box to an actual curved cut box like this should be a $500 upgrade. And there's scientific sound reasons for that too, because the sound doesn't bounce around in a box. It gets reduced down, it gets squeezed, and that's why they do that. It isn't just do it because it's pretty. There's an actual function to that. So they've integrated that function into this. Let me put my shuffle on, because I haven't had shuffle on for a hot minute. I was doing the Dune soundtrack straight through, the second Dune, and then I finally got the Arcane second season soundtrack. I was doing that straight through, and I made a mistake. And I Want to Stay at Your House played, which is from... I'm going to talk a lot of things I listen to, because unlike other speakers, I was just enamored with music. Like, you're just sitting here, like my face sopping wet from crying. I don't know, did I have a rough day yesterday? Did I slept like 9 hours where I don't usually. Maybe I was in like this mood. But I Want to Stay at Your House played. You know that song. If you've watched Cyberpunk Edgerunners, you know that fucking song. And then it shuffled to a song from Freerin. What the fuck song was it? It's in this playlist. Freerin. Yeah. Life is Worth Living came on. This song. And I don't know, I've never heard powerful fucking violin. It's a violin, right? I'm not hallucinating. I don't know classical music that much, but I'm pretty sure whatever the fuck is happening is the most fucking weighty violin on my heart. And through that entire song, I was just like wet. And then I made the extra, like, all right, I'm crying already. Let's not jump to some fucking Ariana Grande. Let's steer this emotion I'm like Ron Burgundy. I was in a glass case of emotion. I kept it going by putting on Let You Down by David from Cyberpunk Edgerunners. And that is like the saddest song that I could even fucking think of. And I just cried for 15 minutes straight. And I'm sitting here trying to like prep for a review, and I did my movement and I was getting in and out and I was like adjusting the thing, and I put it in mono, and I'm like, okay, the vocals sound like they're over here, and then I move that speaker back and try to take it, and all this, and I'm just fucking weeping. These speakers deliver the emotion of music. Have that be a stupid little tagline in your video or on the website. There you go. That's my, like, throw that out there. Put it on the cereal box. Wheaties cover. I love my Mons. I love my Bucharts. I love my JBLs. I love those CSS. I really liked the SVS for mostly movies, though, because shit like this exists. Because there are speakers out there that are... the man... Look, I know the inside track. The man's not charging nearly enough for anything. These should just tomorrow be $5,000. And you know what review I'd give them? The same one. I would just say, oh, by the way, they're $5,000 instead of, oh, by the way, these are $2,200 because it's a special finish. This is the deal of there's no affiliate link. I can't make any money because he doesn't make enough money to give a percentage of that to people who are reviewing it. So I'm just sitting here gushing about this thing with nothing in the end but making you people have an option for this shit. It's one of those dumb things. It's like... There are certain, like the Tungstens. Can we talk about Tungsten? It's a headphone. If you haven't heard about it, Modhouse Tungsten, Modhouse Ryan, great guy, a remarkable. I can't even call him an audio engineer. I don't know that's a profession of his, but he's built this headphone, and for a year before he released it, everyone said the same thing: you have to charge more, and you know you're charging the right amount when the wait time isn't ridiculous. So he's got a 2,000, let's assume he's only talking about the double-sided. There's a 14-week wait to get a Tungsten double-sided. 14 weeks! That means you're charging too little. Because if they have $3,000 instead of $2,000, less people would buy them, but the same amount of people would want them. And that's how you have to work it out. And he's basically, fucking Philharmonic is basically Santa Claus. He's given these things away. Just a driver pack, the ceramic driver with my biggest issue, which might be corrected in a special edition I've heard from birdies around the internet, is that, well, I'm a big fan of I like interesting see-through covers that let you still witness the driver and not that's round, so it's kind of got its own little 70s thing going on. But when you're just square, it's meh. The only thing that saves it is you could just barely see the white driver there, and maybe a little bit of that. But it could be a prettier front. Put on a prettier facade. And then you take it off and you're like, well, there you go, Zeos, problem solved. But higher end speakers, even the fucking clips here that are specifically home theater ones, they're not showing any hardware. They've got aluminum fascia, no hardware. Everything's sort of custom mounted. These show it. And, well, Swans probably show it too. But it sticks out so much. I could just see, that just looks like a $20 thing, shoved into a piece of wood. And if it just, look, I'm not complaining about how it fucking functions. Not even in the slightest. Even the low end, when you get the positioning right. Now I'll put that back. I've got 9 grills in my hands. Yeah, they call me 9 Grill Z, Steve, that's why. So you can cover them. And then you don't really notice the finish on them. I mean, the lighting here is specific, and it's a little bit dark in that finish, but it's you don't really... Owari Monogatari, I can't play any of that because that is immediate copyright strike. Yeah, these... All right. I'm going to say this. First, I'm going to take these covers off because square covers bore me, and square covers with fabric bore me. These are probably some of the most capable bookshelves I've ever heard. Capable. Because the treble and the mid-range are covered. Even though that's a little tiny thing there, that's just integrating in to get this and that. All perfect. It's like a tower speaker. The only thing it lacks is the subbiest of sub bass, which I've actually, and I don't ever, well, I don't want to say don't ever, but I very rarely do this. I was listening to these on their own. Bass is kicking. I actually put the Dune soundtrack on, like I said, and I was walking over here, and then I noticed that driver was attempting to leave the box and fly out. And these are 4 ohm speakers and 86 dB, 86.5 dB sensitivity, which means they're not efficient. Got them on a Star Crimson Ultra, which is actually how I met the guy that I borrowed these from, is because I was doing it at the Orchard Audio meets in Jersey, which are no longer a thing. So, amp combination. Link to the Star Crimson Ultra in the description. So these take a lot of power. I'm actually still about 22 decibels down because that is at 4 ohms, 500 watts per channel. So they don't need that much. But as I'm listening to it, once the bass was going, and then I put in the Dune soundtrack, and I'm like, all right, these speakers are almost perfect. How do I make them perfect? And the answer is usually add a sub. It's just my way of thinking. So the first thing I did was I turned on this sub, which is a Kali 6.2. And it's controlled in an entirely different system with the fiber splitter or the digital splitter. And I was able to just turn on, I'm using the CMA 15 as just a preamp for my sub. So I would set the volume on the DX9, which is feeding the amp, which is feeding the speakers, set the volume there, and then I could just turn a manual knob to integrate the sub between my legs just to fill it in. And it was fucking glorious. But that wasn't the Dune part. That was before Dune. Then I put on Dune, and I'm like, something's missing. And you know what was missing? Another undercharging, way too nice a finished device. The 15-inch HSU VS. Linked in the description. Big fucking monster 15-inch sub that sounds like Class A music. I love it. So I took the fiber optic cable that was normally just sitting there waiting to be used. I brought it over here. SMSL SU1 DAC into a thing, into my little DBX Go Rack to hook it to the sub. So now, right this second, if I put on a bassy song, which, don't do this to me again. Don't do this. No. Fix release. We'll do that. That's a better, And I could mute this, obviously. Just come over here and hit the mute button. So now there is no sub. Doesn't affect anything. But these are like so close to just... I was just... You ever like see someone like setting a table and there's just something missing and you're just like... Is anyone gonna... And then you go and you fix the thing, you add the thing, and like, all right, it's perfect now. You don't tell them you did it. You were just compulsed to do it. You had no option to not fix the thing. And the only thing that I had to fix with this was adding a 15-inch mega sub because I wanted it to do everything. So these will do everything except for be a 15-inch mega sub, which also is only like $1,150, which is just crazy talk for how nice that sub is. Oh, I'm skipping ahead. Witch from Mercury, what an anime. Well, the first half. The ending was a little bit too PG. I would have liked to have seen some more death and destruction and really maim my heart. But the soundtrack, man, the guy went fucking nuts. This is all my, Hold on. There we go. This is all my test tracks for sound demos, which if you're a Patreon or subscriber, for $5 a month, you get to access all the sound demos, previous ones that have been removed from YouTube for fear or lawyers, and all the new ones, which I get to play anything the fuck I want and use not safe for work wallpapers as a tactic to keep people from re-uploading it. Isn't this smart of me? I like titties too. Hold it, and I gotta talk in case I got the music recognition system. Skip ahead to those big ones. All right, I'm going to real quick the CSS Critons versus these. CSS Critons are a DIY speaker. You buy the $1,100 kit or the $1,300 kit. You put it together, and you're in the win. Because these are the exact same price as the pre-made Critons. Critons have more energy, more bass response violence. These are tuned up here. These are speakers I didn't think I would fall this madly in love with because everyone knows Philharmonic's good. Everyone knows you sit down, you say, okay, watch Philharmonic stuff. But when I actually got them set in the room, because they were originally angled at me and a little bit closer, and then I pushed them further back, and then I straightened them out because there was one or two songs where that tweeter was just, that raw tweeter was screaming at me. And I'm like, you know what? I like speakers when they can be parallel with each other. They don't have to point at me. It's not a thing that every speaker has to do. People think that has to be pointed at you. It doesn't. Because when you turn it, this whole fucking area is getting everything from that speaker. This whole area. You know where my head exists? Right next to that area. So I'm not missing anything. In fact, one of the bullet points on this speaker is that he wants 180 degrees of output, which is why it's on a flat fascia. So if I'm standing and the owner of these says you could actually use them like in 5-foot near field, which would be ridiculous. And there's your new desk speakers, everybody. But still, oh my Lord. That's doing some stuff. What the hell is that? Mr. Robot. NGINXIVS, of course. But that's the type of shit that you only get with a subwoofer attached. The subwoofer's muted. Subwoofer's muted. Subwoofer's been muted this whole time. So they are definitely doing the job that they've been paid to do. And they are rear ported, and I got to show you the rear port because it is like that. Do I have a sandwich? I should have brought down my sandwich. Here, let's give it the mouse test. Will it consume a mouse? Oh, it just barely doesn't fit. Look at the size of this fucking rolled port. You get a simple 5-way binding post on each. You get a sticker with your stuff on it. It says BMR. It's got some Japanese letters there. Does it Japanese? Is it Chinese? Taiwanese? I don't know. It's got Asian letters because I think the box is made there. But it's like, oh, and they actually put a label on the front, although I think it's the wrong. I don't know. Would you go black label? to have it blend in, or would you go silver label? Alexis Sonis is on there just to show the maker. The subwoofer's off right now. The big sub's off. So I've had it on for the last 2 hours. And I'm just like, I really don't miss it, but you know what? Fuck it. We're doing a review, doing Z reviews. I'm an advocate for subwoofers. And by the way, it's at 24 out of 99. And now the whole world is just, this is Kill La Kill, by the way. Everyone wants to know the playlist, the songs that I'm using whenever every time I change songs, like, what song is that? What song is that? This is the Kill La Kill soundtrack. I'll just give you the entire thing. Just get it all. Legally. Purchase it with CD or vinyl. I don't know. Transistor OST. It's just huge and lovely. These sound... I'm at a loss of words because I want to compare them to expensive things, but at the same time I don't, because that isn't really telling you what it sounds like. Well, this sounds like my $100,000 speaker system. What the fuck does that mean? What does that sound like? Well, that sounded like my $80,000 speaker system from the 90s. That isn't words. Comparing cost is stupid. I hate it. Nothing. I wish we were in the Star Trek land and nothing cost anybody anything. I don't know how that economy works, by the way. One of you Trekkies can probably explain it to me. Please don't. Please don't. We work on the credit system. When I come down here and I go to like, all right, today's the day. I've been using them for 2 weeks, 3 weeks, and like today is the day to review them. Actually pay attention. Cry like a baby. That should be all I need to say, is that these brought me to an emotional break, and then it took like a couple hours to like sort itself out to be like, all right, no, relax, man. It's just music. It doesn't have to hurt you on the inside. And that's with the sub, and that's Roger Rabbit, I'm a Pawn, from the fucking Roger Rabbit soundtrack, because back in the day, soundtracks meant they were awesome. And they're really high quality, just super high quality. Did we just do that one? We literally just did that one. I'm on my Just Sound Demo playlist, so it's the chances of it playing the same one twice are not impossibly low. There's a clarity to them that I don't think you get unless you break out into a three-way design. You got to have a three-way. You can quote me on that. Put it on the fucking box. You got to have a three-way. Three-ways do something. They unburden the drivers. Even my beloved Mons are still only a two-way technically. There's two drivers doing the same job and then a tweeter. Even though there's three, it's still a two-way. Two-way, 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 three-way. And then you are a four-way technically, because the back drivers can do something different, and this is a tweeter, and that is a regular driver, and that's a front set of driver. So technically, the more you get, it's more complicated and more expensive, which he's not charging properly for. But it does something where it can tear away where this and this would normally be the only things in the speaker, and you have to make the crossover points match, or you have a hole. This fills your hole. This is here to fill your hole. Again, it fills your hole. More notes for the fucking website. It just, even if it's barely doing anything, you don't even see it moving. If I touch it, it's like, oh, there's some vibration happening there. Okay, it's just gently. Oh, it's beautifully like. But it's enough to make that the focal point of the speaker when I'm listening to it. I don't have to worry about the tweeters up here that first should be ear level. No. Because the tweeter and that will be too far apart in a two-way. You got this in the middle. Now that becomes everything. And it's weird because it's a cheap little bastard. It doesn't even look like it. Looks like something you'd find inside a crappy like computer speaker from the late 90s. It would cost you $29.95 at Circuit City this week only. Yet it's doing this job of performing honestly, if this had a permanent cover over it just to make it look a little better, because it's got the little tabs on the end. You're so fucking ugly. But I love you. It's like one of those dogs, like a pug. Little pug dog is so fucking ugly, but I love it. That's that. So yeah, I think Every time I hit next, and if we're going to talk about the actual, like if I'm reverting back to older Zeos talking about things, this sounds like it's made out of wood. It sounds like an instrument, where these are literally metal and invisible speakers, and I never noticed them being there. That's why I love the Mons. These are in the room with you, and the room is big and warm and has a fire, although it's probably more real fire than that. It's a very fake fire, but these speakers have a warmth to them, and I know that because I'm using the Stark Rimson's amp, which has nothing inside of it. In case you're wondering about I reviewed the Orchard Audio Stark Rimson Ultra, and there'll be a collab headphone amplifier that also has nothing in it, and it has no soul. It's okay to have a piece of equipment in your. It's called a chain for a reason. You know, it goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's 5 things here that matter, counting the computer, and that chain should probably be pretty clean, except for maybe 1 or 2 tweaks, and then the end result is what you want to hear. So I know that's clean, and I know that's clean. It's actually one of the best sounding toppings, so it's not dead clean, but it's clean. And then you put these speakers on, and even though that Stark Crimson Ultra will not add warmth and flavor to anything, these have warmth and flavor. These have you could tell the person who designed them gave a shit about how it sounded, and it wasn't just measure it. All right, now done, do it. Now measure it again. No, it doesn't sound right. Throw away the measurements. Change this. Okay, I like the way that sounds. Print it.
When you first come whistling my name,
it's just
open up
it's a $5,000 speaker. There's no reason for him to sell this for $2,200. There's enough expensive speakers in the market. And I'm not meaning to fuck everyone up who's interested in buying these and they're all screaming at me, no, Zeos, no. But if you want to see these keep being made, they're going to have to charge what they're worth. That's the problem, is when you don't charge what something's worth, you're not entering the right market, because these are absolutely better than a lot of speakers. Even $4,000 or $5,000 speakers that exist right now, these are better than those. But no one's considering them, because as fucking much as we're all smart people are stupid. People say, oh, it's only a $2,200 speaker. I wouldn't even compare that to my $6,000 blah, blah, blahs, because they're so much more expensive. Yet these will beat them in every fucking conceivable way. But no one will consider it because the price is too low. And that's the problem with fucking everything in audiophilia, is people are obsessed with the price. It's too expensive. It's too cheap. It's never perfect. There's never a perfect price. There's been 1 or 2 items in the last couple of, like, Eris, $250. Is it too much? Maybe. It's plastic and glass, but aluminum, but then it's weird tuning. But if it's not $500, it's not $1,000, it's $250. It's all right. These at $2,200 is like, that's used. That would be poor condition used for a speaker this good. And I remember the HT Towers, and I gave them a pretty rave review about how they sounded. These shit on those. Those things were super impressive and super neutral and dove so deep, but they were still home theater speakers. And these are the problem. These existing is the problem. I would like to make a request to Philharmonic. Finish the tower. No, BMRTs. I'll do a collab with you. I'll help fund it. Just extend these to the floor and add another driver for bass. I want 18 hertz. Even if it has to be powered. Even if it has to have a powered sub that passes the signal up. Make the whole speaker powered. Fuck it. And then charge $10,000, because that's what they would be worth. These, with capabilities down to 20 hertz, would easily go to an audio show with a little bit of a dress up on the front and be $10,000. $10,000 would be bargain prices at an audio show. And they would deliver mind-boggling fucking experiences. Fucking craft work. Hold on. Because the imaging is perfect, and then they just sound fucking massive. they sound like they are tall, and therefore they sound tall, but you're getting a spread of like 16 inches of sound coming out of there, and it just hits you. And everyone who complains about my basement, Zeo's basement isn't even treated, it wouldn't be a good place to listen to music. Fuck you. You haven't been here. I've lived many places and I've listened to many rooms. This is a magical space. It's very magical. There's insulation in the ceiling. There's 2 carpets on the floor. And there are no boundaries. So the sound can just go all the way the fuck over there and I don't have to hear it again. Shorter over this side, but obviously. But then the back is just nothing but places for sound to bounce around and disappear. And plus, look how soft my couch looks. So anyway, yeah, BMR, Philharmonics, dumb as hell. Just a dumb as hell.
A house new.
If they were uglier, it would make more sense too. Because the finish in the box is throwing me off. Because the sound is automatically a fucking wind. Close my eyes, $4,000. You open your eyes, and you see just like the kind of speaker you don't want to have children because your speakers are too nice. Honey, we can't have children. The speakers, they're too nice. They might touch them with their hands. Please get your tubes tied. That's the conversation these are going to fucking start from. How they look. If they were the box, and I'll show you the picture. I have the website open. I haven't dipped. But here are they. Here they are. In curved ebony, curved rosewood. Probably not as nice a finish, but at least I could see it. And then you get this box. This is a rectangle satin and rectangle piano black. Boring box. $1,800, $1,900, $2,000, $2,200. That means the sound will mostly be the same even at the $1,800 one, which is currently out of stock. But they're still too good. This is me arguing with... This is a video not for you guys. You guys are enjoying it. I'm happy. This is a video for the owner. Raise your goddamn prices. Philharmonic should be a brand, a big brand. They should be PS Audio and then Philharmonic and then, I don't know, Kef and Martin Logan. It should be big. Huge. Ask Dan Clark how much it costs him to make a headphone, and why do they cost $3,000? Because people are willing to pay it, and you could take the profits from that, and there should be a big chunk of profit from the thing you sell, and put it towards new things, and more things, and going to shows, and better fucking hiring more people. That's how businesses grow. When you are a creator, like I've known so many creators that are just like, they want you to have the sound they love, they want to show off, but they're not willing to put that price where it probably should be. And because of that, the business suffers. It suffers. Because it's like, if you're only making a few $100 on a $2,000 speaker, that's not enough that you could take a week-long vacation and go to Milan and talk to the woodworker there who might be able to make the thing. Or you need the money to have the free time to do things, because when you sell 3, that's enough to pay for the next 2 weeks of building them. If you just sell 3 and it's like, well, guess my Cablevision bill's paid off, that doesn't work. So this is opposite day with Zeos, where Zeos loves his cheap shit. I do love my cheap shit. But when I see fantastical shit and the company's just like struggling, it's like, because you just put another 0 on it. Well, not another 0. You know what? I bet you I've heard $20,000 speakers that these would kick their ass at audio shows. Just hashtag bet. Hashtag blind fucking study. I bet it. I betcha. Proper amplification, proper fucking source, good music. Amber Rubarth is always good music. You kick some asses and take some names. Anyway. Give me a thing that always... Ooh, hold on. I just want to play music. Let's put some Billie Eilish on. That's with sub. But if I mute sub again, hardly a difference because I have that just barely tuned in. The proper way to integrate a sub, by the way, is that you can almost not tell it's there. Like, is it the sub or is it the speakers? Oh, it's the sub. Okay. These are fantastic. Patreon subscribe stars if you want to see these reviews early, because if they're sold out in this finish and the other finish, patrons got it first. $5 a month. See reviews early. Participate in yard sales. Lossless sound demos, which I talked about, where all these songs are played, for 90 seconds instead of 12 seconds, and try not to get fucking copyright. Monthly Q&A, which reminds me I need to answer the Q&A today. That'll be my little thing to do today. So you get a monthly Q&A for $5, and you get to I'll answer it, and you get to see the responses for free. If you want to go, there's unlocked posts on Patreon and Subscribestar. There's also all my IM videos are unlocked posts. I don't hide them behind the paywall, so you can go watch all the extra IM videos I have laid out. Go for it. $10 a month behind the scenes private Telegram chat where you can talk to me directly all the goddamn time, and other people who want to ask me the questions, and they all have this knowledge and this fucking and there's people who have been there for years just hanging out. Just talking audio shop. And if you're in that, you're in a lifetime swap meet channel to buy, sell, and trade gear, because seeing this and going, I do have a bunch of speakers that'll probably sell for around $2,000 if I sold them all. And then you fucking buy these. Buy these. And let's hope on that special edition that just make this a little prettier. Because the wood is perfect. It's just this ugly fucker, and this is fine, and this is four screw. There's other ways to do it. But that's it. Anyway, I'm done. You're done. We're done. I'm going to go back to listening to, wait, here we go. Shuffle it up, baby. Blue Scholars, Slick Watts. That's all you got to know.